Greetings ladies and gents, Zoop here, and today I'm providing a review of the USS Hill, which is a Tier 5 United States Navy destroyer. So yes, the mid-tiers get a little love. Even better, you can earn this ship through the Apocalypse event, so get your grind on. Hill should not be confused with the Edsel-class destroyer escort USS Hill, which had a top speed of 20 knots. This Hill is based on a post-World War I flotilla leader, and is much more amply armed than a destroyer escort. Think of it as the Nicholas's cousin. It's still a paper ship though. First, some stats on the Hill. Hit points, 12,100. Guns, you've got 5 127mm guns with a 13.6 kilometer firing range if you add AFT. Torps, 5.5 kilometer 56 knot torps, which you can get down to a reload of 60 seconds. So, let's get into the review portion of this review. Offensive capabilities are a bit of a hodgepodge. She's a gunboat through and through, and her guns are pretty good. However, the guns got a nerf from 4 to 4.8 second reload. This I feel is unfortunate and takes away a bit from the one thing this ship has going for it. The torps on the Hill aren't abysmal, but they aren't great. They're short ranged at 5.5 kilometers, and this hinders your offensive capabilities. You have no torpedo stealth firing capability. This ship is not to be played as a torpedo boat. Despite the lackluster torps and nerfed guns, the guns are still very good, so I'll give the offensive capabilities a 7. How well you do will largely be defined by if you're top tiered or bottom tiered. Defensive capabilities and survivability. Hill actually has a decent amount of hit points for a tier 5 destroyer, which does aid in survivability. You can eat a torp and still have hit points left. It'll be hard for other destroyers to beat you in a straight one-on-one battle. However, despite this, at 6.4 kilometers, the concealment has a lot to be desired. Anti-aircraft capabilities aren't horrendous, actually better than I would have expected, so there's that. And you have defensive fire. You can shoot a fair amount of planes down. Overall, I'd give the Hill a solid 7 for survivability, which isn't too bad. Maneuverability. With a top base speed of 37.5 knots, 39.4 with Sierra mics, a rudder shift time of 3.1 seconds, and a turning circle radius of 560 meters, you are pretty nimble. If you decide to take on battleships one-on-one and want to push into torpedo range, you can do so with success using your WASD hacks and providing the battleship is more of a novice than a pro. You can also add engine boost, which provides an 8% speed boost as well, but you sacrifice your defensive fire for that. For maneuverability, the Hill scores an 8.0, and it's one of her better assets. Competitive. If Tier 5 competitive were a thing, I would likely pass on the Hill as an option. There are other much better options at Tier 5 regarding destroyers. Well, there's one better option, which is basically the option at this tier. I think we all know what that ship is, the Kamikaze. Better concealment and better long-range torps make Kamikaze an ideal choice. Hill really only has its guns going for it. It's basically a Nicholas, and no one truly loves the Nicholas, do they? If Hill got within the range of a Kamikaze, it could beat it with guns, but it'd be spotted well before. Competitively, I'd give the Hill a 5. Fun factor. This is another category that hurts the Hill in my opinion. She's just not that fun. Her playstyle is old, and the same things that plague mid-tier USN destroyers plague her. She's a gunboat with middling concealment and poor torpedoes. You've seen this playstyle, and you've known it from the beginning of the game. Sadly, the playstyle is badly outdated and eclipsed by better and newer destroyers. It's almost a time warp. For fun factor, Hill sadly gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Under the right circumstances, with the right division, you can have some fun, but solo, the gameplay is stale. Zoop's take. Personally, I just don't see the purpose of including Hill. I mean, I guess I get it because it's a reward ship. I wanted some love for the mid-tiers, but this is not the love I was hoping for. Hill isn't a bad ship by any stretch of the imagination. She's just not a unique ship. There's little reason to take her over the Nicholas, and the ships are very similar. Unless you're a newer player looking for a ship to train captains in, I don't find the Hill appealing to many players. She's a gunboat, but in that respect, she's somewhat of a one-trick pony. This ship is for USN enthusiasts and collectors only. Her overall rating is a 6.5 out of 10. She's not terrible, she's just not very exciting at all. Despite this, I do have one that I'll be giving away so you can see for yourself. Who knows, you might bond. Details in the description of this video on how to win. The bright side is, every one of you can get this ship for free, so there's that. Best of luck, Zoup out.